Kasko2Go is on a mission to improve road safety and save lives. They deliver AI-based risk assessment for cars and other vehicles. They equip insurers with impactful datasets and technology to help them assess and avoid risk. With their AI-powered solution, risk can be assessed more accurately thanks to early notification of possible accidents. Today, they will talk about big data and behavioral change, road risk reports and driver warnings, and explain how they continue to expand their meaningful services for the insurance and mobility industries. Please welcome Kasko2Go.
We are Kasko2Go, and we have started in 2017. And our idea was to use technology to improve performance of insurance. Okay? Now, things happened. It came 2020, and what we understood is basically two things. One thing is that this year nobody drives anywhere. 2020 was kind of a dead year. We all know that. And we understood that we need to find a better way of collecting data than we did before to get to where we want to go. Okay? The question was, how do we get to actually using the data profitably immediately, not collecting it for years like we were doing in the days of our telematic. Now, since then, we are operating in more than 10 countries. We have customers, we're working, our idea kind of worked. This is why we're here today. And here I am to explain our solution and how we actually achieved this growth. What we do today is we collect all kinds of information. For example, we collect demographic data, we collect geographic data, we collect all kinds of open and commercial sources worth of data. We clean it all, we get it all in one place, clean and ready to be used. Once all of this data is ready, we go to our customers, the insurance companies, we take their data, claims and policies, and we connect this data together. Now, once this data is clean and ready, we can actually model it. The process of modeling this data is a process that is built on our ability to explain why our model decided what it decided. This is very important from regulatory point of view. Now, how do we do it? We use AI. AI is a black box. We all know that AI is a problem because it's hard to understand why AI decided what it decided. Who here used ChatGPT before? Quite a few. ChatGPT is an amazing system. It does a lot of things, but nobody, even those who built it, understand why, right? We need to solve this problem if we want to work in the insurance business. The way that we solve this problem is following. We created micro AIs that connect each data parameter that the insurer has and that we have to the output we expect. For example, if we want to understand how to control the loss ratio of a portfolio, specifically motor portfolio, what we do is we create a micro AI for each parameter in the portfolio that exists. So for example, the age gets its own assessment, the type of car, the number of schools that you have around this area gets its own assessment, etc. Now, once we create those micro AIs, we are able to then understand why our risk assessment as it is, okay? Because each one of those micro AIs controls only one parameter, and if one of those AIs decided something, we can know who did it and which parameter was the thing that affected it, right? This is a simple way to understand backwards how this micro AI works. Of course, that creates a problem. The problem is that we disconnect parameters. We all know that a guy with a Lamborghini would probably take care of this Lamborghini, right? Right. If I will add one more part of information, everything changes. If we know that this guy is 18, the Lamborghini will not survive the next 24 hours, right? Now, how do we account for it in our models? We use a second stage AI where we use a genetic algorithm that has a genome at its core that is an explainable way of understanding the connections this type of AI makes. And it allows us to actually combine those parameters that were decoupled in the previous stage. Okay? This is a way for us to create one risk assessment, one number that explains the actual risk that we see in a motor portfolio, in a motor client. Cool. Now, all of this is theory. The question is, how does all of this actually work in the real life? Okay? This is a show and tell show, not a lecture about AI. In the real world, this is data from one of the portfolios that we actually worked on. And here we have data of 300,000 policies, more or less, give or take. You can see that our AI divided the data into 4 groups. Okay? Low risk group, medium risk group, high risk group, and outliers, something that the model doesn't know how to evaluate. What is interesting here is that about 50% of all the customers in this portfolio are in the low risk group, and another 50% of the customers in this portfolio are in the medium and high risk groups. Okay, so about 50-50 split. What is even more interesting is that most of the profit of this specific insurer comes from the low risk group, what our system has assessed as the low risk. Now, every time this insurer would get a new customer, okay, he would ask our system to which group this customer belongs. And if he can know ahead of time what is the group, what is the risk, right, he can better understand how much to price the customer, take the customer even at all. Maybe that's not a good customer and shouldn't be part of the portfolio, right? The way that we operate in real life is that we create an API link to the insurer. The insurer can send us the policy data, we augment it, we clean it up, and we update a reply, we give a reply of the risk that this customer poses to the insurer. Okay? Every time the insurer needs an assessment, he gets a personal assessment based on his data, his personal score that allows him to assess is the customer good or not, or what to do with it, how to price, etc. This is our product. We're at Kasko2Go. And if you are interested to hear more on how we do it, you are welcome to our booth. Thank you very much, and have a great day.